Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe. Identification is one and observing is one. Identification is the thing what makes you higher observation. Like Jesus is also observing in all circumstances because he identified like a son.
You always see his father everywhere.
This is different, that how you identify, you observe.
Right. How I identify, I observe.
Yeah. First you have to identify to observe. Or you don't know what you are identifying, you are observing, takes time to identify also. Then observation is flowing, coming, going. So, like a waves flowing. Identification of senses with give you observation in the senses. Identification of body will give you only to observe the bodies.
And maybe control senses like this.
No, it will be control, it will be not control. Because I am identifying my senses. What I identify is also important for observation. Right or not? And when you identify the living soul, that observation is different.
Like when you identify with your body, you see all others also as body.
Body, and you observe in that. Yeah. It's going on process.
There are different stages, Guru.
One is the material state, one is the spiritual state. And when we are in material stage, we are identifying my senses. Imagine. Then we want to empty this because it's disturbing. I'm living in my mind and I want to identify from the mind many things. Observing from the mind, by identifying mind, then what we do? We want to empty that.
Some kind of liberation, huh? We want to get free.
We want to free from that observation. We want to make it quiet, peaceful to the mind. or we want to flow in that. Flowing, the desire will come, not to it go out. You become peaceful. How much will take time to flow? It will become empty. But spirituality is never become empty, because I identify the center of my body. The observation also in that center. Every place I want to be in center. All living personality I will be in center. And in the creation also I want to be in center. To see that center. Right? Chakshu? Yes? Clear?
Clear, very theoretical, clear.
When you do this, you really can love your neighbor.
That's the point. So, observation in your identification, that to see that. You also think when you go in Vipassana, your identification you are observing, or without identification you are observing. But if you watch, mind is where identifying, then observation will become like that. What?
The mind is the vehicle for the identification.
Identification. Because he identifies something and observing I am that thing.
So good, if the mind can be a vehicle for the body senses, like
naturally,
and for the spiritual soul, like the soul consciousness, and for the spiritual self, for the Swarup consciousness.
So mind is not enemy, it's the one of the best friend. If it comes in the agreement with the intelligentsia, if the conflicts are there in our body, mind and my intelligentsia always conflict. Mind wants something and my intelligentsia wants something, and this conflict make inner conflict. So I start coming out from my mouth negative vibration, because the conflicts are there. But if the mind and intelligentsia is an agreement, that is chitta-vritti, it becomes peaceful, because agree what they do, others they agree like a partnership. One company you make and two partners, they work together. That is partnership. And when every partner wants to work independently, then no company. Right? Ask any question.
Gurudev, I think I remember one verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, when the mind, who has conquered the mind, the super soul is reached. Something like this. But how to conquer the mind?
Where is this? Show me that.
Bhagavad Gita?
Weißt du, welches Sloka?
Na, gucken mal, was finden.
Because Arjuna says, oh Krishna, the mind is so difficult to control. It's like the wind. It's unbelievable. It's jumping here and there.
So, ne? I actually...
Zweiten.
You just go and I look at it.
What Krishna said. This is the question. What Krishna answered.
Don't wait for me.
Hast du es gefunden?
No.
Aber gut, ich warte.
Guck mal, das ist in Kapitel 2 irgendwo. Wo das sagt.
It's chapter 6, verse 6.
Jai Ho. Modern technology, ki jai.
Google, aber...
For him who has conquered the mind is the best of mind.
Yes. Thank you.
What a good technology.
Yes, it is a mercy also. Practical. So Krishna says, for
What is
him...
the question and what is the...
Okay. Yeah, the question is a little bit before that. The question is not in this chapter, Gurudev, but the whole chapter, Dhyana Yoga, chapter 6, is giving a very complete answer of this question. I think Arjuna asked it before. But Krishna is saying, one must deliver oneself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself.
You see, once read this.
One must deliver himself with the help of his mind.
Help. Help means friendly. Friendly. Mana Siksha is only for the mind.
And he says also the mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. It can be both.
Both. Friend and enemy. Mind is the reason to create enviness also. Mind is the nature to make the friendship also. Ignorance, mind create happiness. Angerness. And what mind is with the agreement with the intelligence here, it creates friendship.
And it's always positive also.
All negative create positive.
Transforming even.
Transforming. This is the intelligence of the mind. Intelligentsia agreement is there. This company become a company. They don't work one-sided. They work together.
Then the mind is conquered, Guru.
Work in company. Our nature to be independent and to make a mind also independent. Then he becomes enemy. Independent nature of the mind to create envy and many problems. If he is not agreement with the intelligence. And because our nature of the soul to be independent. Why? Because this is the nature of the God to be independent. So we are part and partial of the God. So our mind, I want to be independent. My senses want to be independent. My mind want to be independent. They don't want to be in company. Company means together working. Company. Why company name? To work together. We don't want to work together in company. We want to work independent. And then is enemy. And we make harm for myself. What I am thinking maybe is not right, but I will do that. And after doing, I will repent that I do the wrong thing. And for that I will suffer also. But I will do because my mind and my independency say to do that. Because no company is there. No intelligentsia friendship.
No agreement, no?
Agreement with the... Agreement means make the company. Two partners working together.
And no sadhu sangha.
And that is separate issue, but I am telling only by philosophy. When intelligentsia will be friendship, then positive person will be only associated. Why sadhu telling? Positive man. Negative means demoniac person. I will like only positive man. Positive. Higher than me.
More positive, no? So I
More
can
positive.
increase my positivity.
Positive. Nitai.
So here, Gurudev, can you explain this? Jitatmana prashantasya, one who has conquered the mind. Paramatma samahita, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility.
Because when this is controlled by my body and senses, is enemy. My body is controlled to my mind, and my senses start controlling mine, means I have no intelligence here.
Lost.
I am lost in my ignorance. I am playing in the hand of my body and senses. And when I balance my mind, what?
Yeah, here this is conquered the mind,
Conquer.
but the Sanskrit...
Conquer means make agreement with intelligence. Then it will not jump for the senses and body. It will be intelligence moving. If he has to go for the senses, it will go right place, not jumping like a
monkey.
Or not only seeing the material thing. I mean, intelligentsia will say, go more higher. To identify your center, what you are. Why not you see that? Why not you see the center of all creation? Creator center. Who is the creator of this universe? And mind has to think, because you have to give in computer some subject and he will search out. This is the work of the mind. But we give the different subject. We say to senses, to search for my sense enjoyment. Then my mind work for this thing. Is a computer. You have to fix the
subject.
The
files.
What you want to see that file you have to put there with your intelligence. I want to use intelligence.
Which file are we working on today?
Then he starts searching this. Oh, best is the intelligentsia to search the center. What is your center? Put it, what is my center? Then we will find out what is your center. Let the mind do. Agreement with the intelligentsia, agreement with the ignorance. Not independent. We want to keep mind independent. This is my foolishness. Ignorance. So it will not be developing a spiritual way. Because there is no company. Independence is no partnership. It's an independent ownership. I want to be owner for myself. I don't want to influence to others. Right?
So, Gurudev, it seems that the intelligence is higher than the mind.
Intelligence or ignorance?
That is the question, no?
Two subjects. You have to select one. If you are not in intelligentsia, easy to catch ignorance. And then I want to be independent because I want to live in ignorance. That selection is important, that you don't go in ignorance. Because the ignorance will make you independent. Don't make company. No make partnership. Then you will lose your independence.
Right.
You will lose your existence. You will lose your existence. Your identification will finish. And ego says, wow, you're right. I don't want to lose this. I want to be in myself. Why? To self-enjoyment of my senses. I have to decide this to do. I have to decide my body to do. Okay, do it. But it's ignorance. It's not agreement with your intelligence. Suffer, what we can do? Next life. This life you decide to suffer, take it.
Degradation.
Only outside changing that I become a spiritual devotee or something is not working. It's an inner business. It's a divine way of thinking. Has to understand. Right? You give the chance, not agreement with intelligentsia. Ignorance has a place. No other thing is there. A or B. This side or that side.
Darkness or light?
Light or darkness. Happy or suffering. We select suffering. Then how happiness will come?
But you also have to attain higher taste Otherwise, we will dry out.
Naturally. Emptiness will come. Dry out means emptiness. Everything with the ignorance create emptiness.
But also so-called spiritual platform. Like if one is connected with an impersonal goal, we will dry out.
100%.
Krishna says we need this higher taste.
Yeah. Taste means you need the rasgulla.
Yeah, so
If you want to taste the person and the rasgulla, two things necessary. You cannot taste yourself. Beloved need lover to taste his love. Jesus need his father to taste the love of the father. If the father is not existing, what is the use of the son? And when father is there, when son is there, that is the useful for father also. Because without father, who will say father to him? The son can say to father. So two is very important to test that. Beloved is important for lover. Lover is important for beloved. Then you test that conjugal love. And that make devotion. Then I want to serve my wife, my lover, and I want to move with her. I want to cook for her. I want to bring some clothes for her. That is devotion. I want to do the laundry for her. I want to iron the clothes of her. This is devotion. What is devotion? This is the devotion. Devotion is new thing.
love and action.
Love and action is a devotion. And devotion cannot be possible in alone do. If nobody is sufficient, even God is not sufficient. God creator is not sufficient to taste his mallow. He said, my God, I need to taste his mallow. That is the love. Is the love, is the God love. God is love.
Love is the God of God.
God has a God, that is love. God is love. The goal of the God is love. Is the God of God is love. God is love. Because he need only love. He has no other desire. And love needs the one to test it. This is the meaning. Impersonal, who has no two, they cannot test. Alone I cannot test it. If I will become Jesus, what I will do? I cannot relish what Jesus relished with his Father. So I have to follow his mood to relish the Father, how he is relishing. But many people say that Jesus is God. I say, I don't believe. Don't say this. You make lower to him. He is the God. He's a God of God, and God is Jesus. God. He is higher than God. Why? Because he is the love of the God. He showed the world to love him. Love is higher always with the God.
That's why the New Testament.
This is New Testament. Understand? When this is crystal clear, then you can understand the in between the love of Radha and Krishna. If you don't understand Jesus, that Jesus is God, you have to stop to think this. Lover are more higher than God. Why in Europe they only say Jesus? Why not say his father name? About father. And go to South America. In South America, nobody say about Jesus. Everybody say Mother Mary. Why? Because the lovers are important. God is automatic come when there is a love. In which shape which name you want.
Love gives a name.
Name. Love gives name. Right or not? Love not give name? If you have real love, you sure give the name of your lover. Right or not? This is the way. This is the goal of life. Is a divine way, an easy way, is a natural way, is a devotion. And there, where is a devotion, always two is existing. You cannot do devotion, this thing, without two. You can do? No. Jesus is doing devotion because he identified he's a son and he is doing devotion for his father in looking to all creation of his father.
And all are his brothers and sisters.
All connections with father and all he see the brother and sister in the world. That is the relation with him. Without relation, he creates relation because of the Father. This is Krishna consciousness. When this consciousness will come, you are Krishna conscious. Understand? If this feeling is not with Jesus, you are not Krishna conscious. Krishna consciousness means everywhere you can see this divinity. That is Krishna consciousness. You say A or B, that is no meaning. Meaning is this, your divinity in your eyes, in your feeling is like this or not. Where I see, because of intense love, only I see you. I want to stop to think about you, but I cannot forget you. Why? Because love is so intense, how I can forget you for some moment to do other work. Please help me that I can forget you for some moment, that I can do something else.
That I can serve you.
Nidai. Right? Clear to the
Very
mind?
good, Gurudev. Yes, I was just
Then,
trying to come.
when a mind is in the agreement with intelligence, then this happens. What is happening? What you read?
Then something special happens.
Yeah.
The super soul is reached, for he has attained tranquility.
Because super soul means he start looking center of the things, center of creation, center of being. What is the highest? Intelligentsia will make you research. What is the topmost? What is intelligentsia will make you research inside me? What is topmost?
Yes. What is moving every cell, every atom?
What is I am that is moving inside me, and what is in the creation who moves, then is a center. When I will start living in the center, then I will not derail.
Degrade.
Decenter.
Yes, decenter. Get out of balance. Yeah, derail.
Derail. I am always in the center, in myself and in you. Right? That's the goal of life. You put name here A or there B or here C or there D is no meaning. Gospel of Maria Magdalena. What is sin? What is sin? The answer was, I don't want to go whole story. Maria Magdalena said to John, sin is this, that I forget that I am living soul. That is sin. The moment I forget, that is the sin.
Only sin.
Only sin. And the moment I forget that I am a living soul, I forget my connection with the Savior, that is biggest sin. Because I forget my center, that I am a living soul, and I forget Him, that is the biggest sin. The moment I am not remembering, that is the biggest sin. When I read this, I have so much respect for Maria Magdalena, I cannot say you. Radha. This is not Krishna consciousness asked from others. I am talking about Maria Magdalena. It can be possible Krishna consciousness. It is. The deep meaning has to understand. Divine is always divine. Material is always material. Like you see any material thing is similar. In Germany also this glass you will find. Here also this glass you will find. Similarly, you will see the senses are the same. Indian senses, your German senses or American senses, same. There is no difference. Material. Right. Same.
And then Gurudev, to such a person, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same.
You see? Happiness, distress, when you are observing, that is the position of observation. You start observing. You don't involve in the cold and heat. You don't involve in happiness and distress. You not connect yourself there because connection with your senses and body and mind. Because your intelligence have fixed some other place. Before was fixed in other place. When we are not getting that, then we become happy and distressed. Now, if my mind is fixed there, in the real position of the soul and the super soul, creator and creation, then I only see the living, this divine connection. When I disconnected, then I am distressed. But I am never distressed because I am always connected there. I want to be in the flow of that.
Beyond duality, Gurudev.
Yes. Like I was not getting senses here, then I am suffering for that. Distress. But now I am connected with this point to that point. Then if I am not doing that, then I am distressed. But slowly, my happiness and distress is not touching to me. Because I feel pain why I am not doing this. I am not in that flow. But one day I feel happiness or distress because it become my nature to be there.
This is Samadhi stage, Gurudev?
You can say this. Smaranam, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Spurti is first. Spuran, Smaran.
Dreams.
Dream and Spurana.
Yeah.
Dreams.
Spurti also, Spurti means flow. Flash.
Some
No.
revelation.
Flow, like a waves. Sfuran. Waves. Smar. Again, repeat.
Smaranam, dream, and
Sfuran.
And Spuranam.
Asmarana. First Spurti will come, then always meditation will happen. Then Dhyana. I start living in that meditation. And then it becomes forever. Open eyes. Samadhi is not with closed eyes. Real Samadhist people are open eyes. One Samadhi is with closed eyes. They open, there's everything gone. But one Samadhi, they do open eyes. They're talking, they're doing every normal thing, but they are in Samadhi. This is the highest Samadhi. Jai Shri Ram.
Gurudev, when you use all the senses, always in devotional service, then it's called Abhideya, right? And then you can Abhideya.
When the senses are always in devotional service, is this called Abhideya?
No.
No?
When my senses we come out from my material senses. We come out from the material senses and try to come out from that effect of the senses by the mercy of the mind and by mercy of Gurudev, that mind become with the agreement of the positive intelligence.
This chitta-vritti.
Yeah, chitta-vritti. And it's not disturbing. Then
that's Abhideya.
Then my sarup rising, where we go in sarup, then my material senses start serving. Before not. When you start living in this body, your senses will not serve to you. When you leave this body, staying in your spiritual body, then the senses will start serving.
Oh. Before it's sadhana, Gurudev. It's practice.
It's not, then they will start jumping. I test myself. When you are living in the body, it will start jumping. It will never last desire finish. But when you are not living there, then they want to please you, they start serving. All the senses, Gopi senses was serving. They are ready openly to serve. Because you are not living there, all are material. What is the use to not to do in service? You know means to do that. No importance for us.
No meaning. Yeah.
No meaning. Meaning is there when I am living there. When I am not living there, no meaning. No botheration is doing, no bother to me.
No urges.
No.
No activity.
But not if you live in this body and you think that this Gopi Bhav will come, it's not. They will catch you back.
The senses will catch back.
That to realize. Because when you are not living, this become material. And material when they become is not taking sin also if you use in the service. The gopis are doing all in the service. In this bhav. One point. That is Gopi bhav.
So Abhideya means you're already out of the bodily consciousness.
That's the Avideya.
You're already living
Not
in
in Deha, in divine Deha. That is Avideya.
Abhi means also Abhideya means the body of here and now.
Yeah.
And that is the Sita actually.
Yeah. Deha and Avideha, out of this body.
Out of, no. Abhi means more out of the body, not of the material
This
substance.
one. Understand? Clear or not? Theory. Practical? Do the practical. What is the problem? I also not understand. I do the practical. I understand.
This is mercy, Gurudev. We can only
Practical.
desire.
Do practical. Understand.
So if you would go just the idea from the Sadak there to the Sita there, you are in the Sita there, you come back to the Sadak there, then it's also Abhideya.
No.
In the case of
We are
Raghunath,
jumping like a ping pong.
no, I think in the case of Radhi Manchari, Tulsi Manchari, he's going to Sita there, coming back to his Sadak there.
Their mind and all was in the agreement. First they make the
That's what I
mind
mean.
that they are always bringing out there. Their mind not become ignorant, coming back
Yes,
and
but
then
I mean-
ignorance, not like
I speak not about the ignorant, I speak
or
about
no independency also.
I speak about Raghunath Das.
Arey, my dear, Raghunath Das position I am telling you. Their mind was in agreement with the Chitta-vritti was
Chitta-vritti,
there.
100%.
The Chitta-vritti is not immediately we can make clear like that. They have one pointed when they will come in the bodily consciousness. After that they have only one desire, to go in the service. Here when we come in the body consciousness, our senses start talking to us that you have some hidden desire, you complete it.
Yeah, this is what Vamsi Prabhu said, that when they come even back in their sadhaka, they are still on the same level.
Same level.
That's
That
what I want
was
to
his
say.
question, yes.
Or no, sir, that
That's what I want to say.
Raghunath Das Goswami was not in this level. Because they are living in the Chitta-vritti. They come only to teach us that when you go in your sadhak there, how you have to greet for that to go
Come back in the Sita.
But we have no like that.
No, we have no realization, of course.
No, but
After practicing 10, 20 years, after that this is very difficult. Without Chitta-vritti not fixed. Not agreement is fixed there. It immediately become unconditional. But then this condition becomes.
Yes.
I immediately take the condition of my senses and body and mind, and I forget all ABCD what I learned.
This happens instantly, na?
In beginning, it will happen. In middle, it will happen. It can happen. We have to very careful to keep our chitta-vritti. Then, if we go back, it is not easy to go return back in our Abhideha Gyan. These are sensitive things. Ignorance is so very heavy that when he catch, he not give chance to go back.
And what about the passion? Also, it's also
Which person?
Now, Gurudev, when he uses ignorance, now
It
he
means
means
also
a general covering in any kind of guna.
Passion we need. But in our Siddha Deha we need passion.
Yeah, to put it there, to put all the gunas there, to put it
All gunas we need there. But in my spiritual body, not in my material body. I need all gunas what we learn in the material body. We want to use there in my Siddha body. Why I learn to use in the spiritual body?
That's perfection.
We learn these things as per my circumstances. But why I learn? Because to use in my spiritual body. That to understand. And if I want to keep my material practice like this, then I will never go to the spiritual identification. Then some grihastha can say, question, then we have nothing to marry. I say, if you live in your spiritual body, these senses become totally material. The gopi means who use all his senses.
You mean spiritual, Gurudev. If you live in your spiritual body, all senses become spiritualized.
Spiritualized?
Yes.
Yeah, you can say like this also, that it becomes so spiritualized that that material taste is finished.
You will just use it as a service.
As a service.
For your partner in that case.
Yes.
Selfless love.
Yes, service, into the service. Because I am the husband, I have to serve my wife. And I am a wife, I have to serve to my husband. No, my wish, my greed, my desire, I am doing in service. It's very difficult, but by doing and doing it will become nature. Then it's no problem. But for my enjoyment, anything I do is a karma. Karma means I have to pay back.
Bills.
Bills. I am collecting the bills for my enjoyment. I have to pay the taxes.
This is a long topic.
I have to pay
That's a
tax.
long topic.
I have to pay tax. Yeah.
It's not relationship, it's business.
Because sometimes also how you can be really sure that, for example, in a lover relation, how you can really be sure that you only want to satisfy your lover and not yourself too.
Material condition, no satisfying. It is sexual. It is a higher stage talk, I think.
So
Yes, I know.
You cannot transfer.
I am not.
I know that you speak about the higher taste.
Material to
No, I don't want to
material
mix.
to the spiritual.
I just want to have that.
That is material based. Without reaching there, it's not possible. It's all material based.
But Vangsi
Ignorance.
Prabhu, he wants to ask Gurudev, is it possible on the human level that we do it also with a service attitude in our relationship?
It's a preparation.
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 Yes.
If we can do, it's a preparation to move from this body.
Right. So the attitude can be...
Is a positive,
Yes.
to move in the spiritual way. If you want to still enjoy, you have to live there. You have to pay the bills. If you want to service more, then you are ready to move for the spirituality. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda